さ Good afternoon, everyone. Oh, you can't even see me on this. I'm sorry. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us here at the Whittier-Hill Church's It's an Insight, or end of year ceremony. The ceremony comes once a year because it's at the end of the year. But today, let's put our hearts together as one. Let's bring our hearts together as one as we give thanks for the blessings, favors, protections, and interventions we receive daily from Tenchi Kano no Kami for today's ceremony. So let's begin. Chido Haide, 4 sincere claps. Amatsunori to Takaman no hara ni kamuzumarimasu. Kamurogi kamuromi no mikoto mochite sumemi oya kamu izanagi no mikoto tsukushin no hyugan no tachibanan no odon no awagi haran ni misogi harai tamahu ni aremaseru harai dono kami tachi mono no magagoto tsumi kegare o harai tamai kiyome tamae komo sukoto no yoshio amatsu kami gunitsu kami yaoyorozu no kami tachi tomo ni amen no uchi koma no mimi buri tatete kiko shimese to kashigomi momosu. May each and every one of your diseases and discomforts, pain and suffering, mental and psychological impairments, and all impurities and negativities be dispelled into the great and vast universe. Allow each and every one of us to be in the purest state of mind, as we are favored, blessed, and protected by your great love, virtue, and energy. Ichido Keire, please bow your heads in prayer. すみて木神金光大臣の御前に間を割く。今より令和4年、越年祭を執り行わんとす。教祖金光大臣をはじめ、歴代金光様、金光教神戸教会、姫路教会、福崎親教会、ポートランド教会、各教会、主題教会長、歴代教会長の御徳をすがり申し、今日の御祭り使え祭らんとす。礼上げ行わん礼儀記憶5日に、滅神祭る信奉者もろもろ、この者も身を正し、心新たにただかしめたまえと、半鳥次恋ねぎて祭りて、かしこみもまおす。木神金光大臣、I seek your 20 for today's service. Today we conduct the end of year ceremony for 2022. As someone without virtue, I seek to receive and cling to the virtue of Konko Daijin, the succeeding Konko Samas, as well as the founding and past and present head ministers of the Konko churches of Kobe, Himeji, Fukuzaki, and Portland for today's service. Today, the believers and I come together with our hearts, bodies, and minds refreshed, purified, and ready for today's service. Thank you. Now, please raise your heads. Please open your prayer books to page 3 for the Kami prayer. Reverently we pray. The brilliance of heaven, the richness of earth. Time flows without cease. Years pass without end. In heaven and earth is the life that nurtures all. In heaven and earth is the truth that orders all. With this wondrous form, with these wondrous works, let us praise Tenchi Kane no Kami. Let us praise the divine parent of the universe. Kami loves and cares for all humanity, all those who live between heaven and earth. To revere Kami as divine parent, to live in Kami's infinite blessings, this is the way. Yet many, not knowing the way, are lost in greed and selfishness. They suffer the cycle of misfortunes. Great is Kami's sorrow. Our founding father, Konko Daijin, suffered many trials in this world, but held fast to faith and sincerity. He received Kami's great blessing, began the life of mutual fulfillment of Kami and humanity. Humbly we pray. Divine Parent's great wish was thus fulfilled. Hongo Daijin accepted the call to mediation that leads to the mutual benefits of kami and humanity. By day, he taught the way of faith to all who sought him, expounding the blessings of heaven and earth. And he knew not the coming of night. By night he prayed for those who grieved, seeking salvation for all who suffered. And he knew not the dawning of day. Though years passed and the world changed, he did not waver from his task, the divine task of mediation. Thus was given the sacred tenchi kakitsuke, the guiding principle for our daily life. Divine favor was thus renewed and blessings flowed universally, establishing the way of eternal prosperity, the way of mediation of Ikigami Hongo Daiji. By this wondrous revelation, we are given knowledge of the way, through all the hardships of this world, through pain of body and soul. The way of mediation teaches us to turn our hearts to kami. Without regard for day or night, whether we are near or far, the way of mediation teaches us to pray with total trust. For living unaware of divine favor, we offer our sincere apologies and pledge to mend our ways. Let us live our faith every day, seeking and rejoicing in your divine favor. Let us care for those in pain and invite them to the way. Let us guide those who are lost and awaken them to a life of purpose. Kami is fulfilled in us. We are fulfilled in kami. May this way of mutual fulfillment be manifested in this world. May kami's wish for true peace and the well-being of all people be fulfilled. So we humbly pray. So we earnestly pray. Ichido Keirei, please bow your heads in prayer. Genmaku mo kashikoki, Ikigami Hongo Daijin, Tenshi Kane no Kami no Mimae ni, Hongo Kyo Whittier-Hill Kyo Gaicho, Igawa Kyoshi Sensei no Kawarite, Kashikomi mo maosaku, Kashiko karedo waga tenchi kane no kami hashi, Hanmitoku tenchi ni amaneku michi watarase tamai, no mina o ikashi, rozu no koto totonoe sase tamai, Akite mo tenchi no aida ni sumu ningen wo kami no itoshi goto me de itsukushimi tamaite aru wa, domo kashikoki koto no kitami ni na. On this chipper afternoon, here at the Hongo Church of Whittier-Hill, on behalf of your beloved children, we've joined in one heart to share our love, sincerity, and appreciation to you, the blessings, favors, and interventions we receive daily throughout 2022 for today's end-of-year ceremony. We take this time to offer prayers of apology for words we might have said, actions we might have done that hurt someone intentionally or unintentionally. We apologize for seeing things for not what they are, but for the way we want to see them. Hearing things for not what they are, but for the way we want to hear them. We apologize for those thoughts we have had of others, where we have wished them ill fortune and or harm, or sent them negativity. We apologize for saying, thinking, and doing things that may have hurt you. We apologize for those times when we are not grateful for your kindness, ignoring your blessings, defiling the sacred world that you gave to us, and grumbling and being negative. We We apologize as we do not honor this sacred place as your home and as a sanctuary for those needing to find safety and peace. In this time of purification and healing, we pray as we end this year, in each of our hearts, we pledge to reform ourselves. We pledge to strengthen our relationship with you. We pledge to care for this church established by the Reverend Whittier-Hill and slowly bring it back to its former glory. Purge us of our negativities and iniquity. However, we also take this moment to offer our hearts of love, appreciation, and sincerity for the favors, interventions, and protections you have showered upon each of the Ujibwa, the Whittier-Rose Hills Church, and the New York, New Jersey gathering. Many of us continue to receive your favor and interventions, especially in these recent times. Thank you very much for our sight, hearing, and the ability to be free. Thank you for leading us all into this beautiful faith that started with the faith of Honko Daijin. We offer our hearts of appreciation for the daily goyo of our spiritual patriarch, Kyoshi Honko-sama, the Reverend Hiromichi Honko. Today, we also remember and give thanks to the second spiritual patriarch, Honko Shidin Surayuki no Kimi, who passed away in 1893. Shidin Honko took over after Honko Daijin's passing, and he served at Dokekkai for 10 years. Shidin-sama reminds us that as long as we have faith and ask for Honko Daijin to help, he will always be there to help us. We thank you for our parent church and parent minister, Honko Church of Fusaki, Reverend Hironori Ushio. Thank you very much for Reverend Whittier-Hill, who founded the Whittier-Rose Hills Church, and Reverend Kyoshi-Hill, who is the present head minister of the Whittier-Rose Hills Church. Please watch over both of them. At present, they're living with their daughter Kazuko and her ohana in New Jersey. Allow them to all maintain a positive disposition. Keep them healthy and strong. Help them to turn their hearts to Kami-sama in order to share Honko Daijin's teaching and help the Ujiko on the East Coast through 2018. We offer our hearts of appreciation to Kaz and her ohana, who has been caring for Reverend Igawa. Please watch over Kaz and her ohana. Keep them calm, strong in faith, love, and health. Shower them with favor and intervention as they continue caring for Kyoshi-sensei and Wakiko-sensei. I implore you to please use us to make an impact, big or small, in our communities, cities, counties, and countries. Guide us in our hearts and our actions to be embracing, loving, kind, and generous. We implore you to please use us as your instruments of peace. Where there is hatred, let us sow love. Where there is injury, let us offer forgiveness. Where there is discord, let us build peace. Where there is error, let us find truth. Where there is doubt, let us have hope. Where there is darkness, let there be light. And let us be the light. Where there is sadness, let us offer joy. Tenka taihei shokoku joju kinen. Soji komi no anzen sekai shin no heiwa no goshingan. Joju ni o yaku ni tatasete itadaku jigo ni narasete kudasaimasu yo. Onnegai moshiagete matsurimasu. As this year comes to an end, we take this opportunity to reflect on this long and trying year for many of us. It is the third Honko-sama who taught us, Nan wa mikage, hardship is Kami's favor. We also ask that you please take our hands and help us to use this opportunity as a means of reflection and resurrection upon our lives, faith, hearts, and actions. Allow us to reflect on the favors, blessings, and interventions received throughout the year and throughout this pandemic. We pray for the victims of tragedies, natural and human-made disasters, to recuperate materially, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Please continue to watch over all who are suffering from illness and disease. We pray for those suffering from mental and physical illnesses and disorders such as dementia, cancer, COVID-19 and its variants, heart diseases, and etc. Your divine intervention and favor, grant these individuals a renewed life and guide them to becoming useful individuals to society. However, we also pray for those who are their caretakers. Allow them to get time off for themselves. Allow them a moment of sanity and serenity. And give them the additional strength to continue loving and caring for their loved ones. As this year comes to an end, we pray that the next year we will be stronger in our devotion and faith. We will be kinder and share our joy with others. And we will work towards being positive contributors to society, our families, and our faith. 日神金光大神様、天地金の神様、神様。At this time, we offer prayers of appreciation for the Reverend Masako Sezarina Kikekawa. As you are aware, she is now home and being cared for by her ohana. She's off the ventilator and breathing on her own. We are grateful for your megumi blessings that she receives daily, especially the gift of life. We are grateful for the favor that you are showering upon Masako Sensei. We continue to pray for her recovery. Through her faith and ours, we pray that all meguri associated with her situation melt away. Let her faith be that and that of the Kikeo family rise like the phoenix. Let Masako Sensei be the light needed to save her family, the community at Camellia Gardens, and others. We sincerely pray that her recovery will be the impetus for many of us to revive our hearts, our faiths, and our relationship with you. As I bring this prayer to a close, it is our prayer that we can end this year safely, in peace and harmony, in love and joy. We pray that the blessings and favor of today's service is granted and received by all here today and those who could not join us. Me ki aloha kume hana, mahalo anu e, our beloved Ikemi Konko Daiji, Kenchi Kane no Kami. Now, please raise your heads. Chido Tomoni Haide, 4 sincere claps along with the head officiant. Please open your prayer books to page 6 for recitation of the Tenchi Kakitsuke. Ikigami Konko Daijin Tenchi Kane no Kami Isshin ni Negae Kage wa waga kokoro ni ari Kongetsu konnichi de tanome. Pray sincerely with all your heart. Be one with Kami. Kami's blessings begin within, hearts grateful and caring, in harmony and joy. Look to Kami always, now and forever. On this very day, pray. Please open your prayer books to page 7 for the Adoration Prayer. We lift our eyes in awe toward heaven soaring above. We lift our eyes in awe toward heaven soaring above. We bow our heads in prayer toward earth rich and deep. Living amid such gifts of Kami's great giving, how happy and grateful we are. The mediation of Ikiyami Kongo Daijin does not stop for a single day. The protection of the Divine Parent embraces all far and wide. The blessings of Kami flow without limit through all generations. The ways of Kami are mysterious and wondrous beyond our understanding. Day by day, every day, earnestly and reverently, we praise the virtues of Kami. We honor the power of Kami. Chido Haire for sincere claps. Chido Haire for sincere claps. Please open your prayer books to page 11 for prayer to the departed souls. Spirits of those who have gone before us, you were given the gift of life, this vast and endless universe. You discharge your duties faithfully, each according to your span of years. You will be remembered eternally, your lives retold from generation to generation, honored as the foundation of our society and the roots of our families. We revere you as the ancestral spirits of our homes, our own divine spirits. We beseech you, stand by us each and every one. Receive the favor of Kami and help us to fulfill our tasks as people without failing. Protect us, guide us, enrich us, that we may never lose the way of faith, that we hand it down to all generations, that we may live in peace and prosperity within our homes. Protect us, guide us, enrich us. Chido Keirei, please bow your heads in prayer. Wamma kumo tashi koki, Renno Whittier-Hill 教会のご霊年に、いつき祭るご霊人様に。Starting with the Kandori family, Konko family, Ushio family, and Nakabayashi family, including the late Reverend Akinobu Konko, we respectfully call upon the following to join us today. 金光大臣様のご両親、birth parents of 金光大臣、ご尊父様、father、十平勘取り、ご母堂様、mother、下勘取り、adoptive parents of 金光大臣、不明次郎川手、岩川手、勘取りファミリー、川手ファミリー、西本ファミリー、深沢ファミリー、川上ファミリー、秀島ファミリー、大坪ファミリー、右山ファミリー、後藤ファミリー、武田ファミリー、露木ファミリー、渦野江ファミリー、湯川ファミリー、井川ファミリー、引川ファミリー、佐伯ファミリー、松本ファミリー、田中ファミリー、オフェロファミリー、アイビーファミリー、サンチェスファミリー、ランデロスファミリー、ホエリーファミリー、フォンファミリー、ピンファミリー、オータファミリー、リムファミリー、綾部ファミリー、ブラウンファミリー、クラウスファミリー、藤本ファミリー、古谷ファミリー、松井ファミリー、宮川ファミリー、森脇ファミリー、唐川ファミリー、吉高ファミリー、高山ファミリー、西ファミリー、大村ファミリー、田上ファミリー、谷口ファミリー、ナッパファミリー、梅本ファミリー、浦田ファミリー、山本ファミリー、山内ファミリー、安武ファミリー。Thank you all for watching, guiding, and protecting us in our daily lives. We also honor those who passed in the month of December. 二代金光様、金光詩人つやゆきの君、世間金光様、詩人金光。教祖様四男、金光大臣、金光大臣、王子立分けの御事の御霊の神、金光大臣 fourth son、萩尾金光。五代金光様三男、the present 金光様's third son, and Reverend Watsuko Igawa's classmate, Reverend Akinobu金光、大井夏子。金光教サンフランシスコ教会初代、福田義明君の御霊の神。The founding minister of the 金光 Church of San Francisco, Reverend 義明福田。金光教和平和教会初代、高橋春子姫の御霊の神。Whittier Church founding minister, Reverend Haruko Margaret Takahashi no Mitama no Kami. Corman Fairbrook, Fumio Gomi, Masako Igawa Teruya Hime no Mitama no Kami. Sakiko Igawa Tsuyuka Wakugo no Mitama no Kami. Tomino Lang Toji no Mitama no Kami. Mr. Kyoshi Miyagawa, Burke Manabu Urata, Chikateru Itsuhashira牛の御霊の神、清王中林、賢治吉田、and having passed away as recently as last month, Reverend Alfred Yoshihisa Tsuki. Please receive the offerings placed before you as a simple token of our appreciation, as well as our hearts and prayers of love, appreciation, and sincerity. And also please join your respective families during this holiday season. Join them in welcoming 2023. Please continue to watch over, guide, and protect all of us. 玉だすきかけて祈らないよよのや、親の御親の神の支配よ。玉だすきかけて祈らないよよのや、親の御親の神の支配よ。Now, please raise your heads. Chido, 、 共に入れ 4 sincere claps along with the head officiant. Please open your prayer books to page 14 for the ancestral prayer. Dear Mikama spirits, everlasting and integral part of the divine current of the universe, we pray that the Mikama of our ancestors and family, as well as the Mikama of all people, are at eternal peace and happiness. To you who have gone before us, we give thanks wholeheartedly for paving the way through hardships and self-sacrifice, in order that we, who are here today, can receive all the benefits of your endeavors. To you, our ancestral spirits, we gratefully acknowledge the protection and guidance which you have bestowed upon us. We pray that you continue to protect and guide us throughout our daily lives. We pray that we realize and develop your divine virtue this and every day. Chido Haire, 4 sincere claps. Ooh. Hello, everybody. Aloha. Konnichiwa. Buenos dias. Thank you very much for joining us here at the Whittier-Hill Church's end of year ceremony. Can you believe it's already December? What? It's so shocking to believe that's December already. Like, oh my gosh. You know, today's ceremony, if you listen to it carefully in the Norito before Kami-sama, there's so much embedded into this particular ceremony. You know, it's not just purification, purifying our hearts and minds. But in order to purify our hearts and minds, we have to do something that Reverend Wakio Igawa, oh my gosh, let me tell you, she would repeat over and over and over to me one of the founder's teachings, which was Aratamari ga daichi. Aratamari ga daichi. Or there's two ways to look at it. Reflection is of the utmost. Reformation is of the utmost. And when we think of reflection, we think of everything being here, right? Reflection is here, inside. Reformation is a physical action that takes place, something physical in our lives and our bodies that changes. And it's so important. She would mention it. She had mentioned, at first, at that time, when I was doing training here, she would say it so often. I was like, oh God, of all the founder's teachings that she had to tell me. But she would say it over and over again. And it's not until, my being in the place where I am now that I've come to truly appreciate that teaching. The fact that she kept telling me about it, saying it over and over and over again. It's something as we as teachers, maybe we take it for granted because now it's one of, in a teacher education program, that's something, reflection is something that is internalized, it's told to us, and we do it on a practically daily basis in our jobs. When we think about reflection, when I think about my job as a teacher, or even Miko, when Miko does her job as a teacher, there is reflection. Like, did this work out? Okay, if this didn't work out, I remember this was back when I taught at Kabahama schools. I wanted to do something fun and exciting, something different. And I worked on this lesson plan for like 2 days. And it was very meticulous on how everything was supposed to go, what I was going to do. And on the day I was doing it for my classes, the whole thing bombed, completely bombed. And I was in tears. I remember being in tears, like, I worked so hard on this. Why did it not work? And then I got out of my pity party and I reflected, like, what could I have done to make it different? What are some things students have had said? What did I not realize? And I began this reflection because this is part of the teacher process. I wouldn't doubt someone like James, who's in accounting, has to do the same thing. What can I do as an accountant to be better? What can I do as an accountant to satisfy my customers, to do better for the company? This constant reflection is so important. Um, Please forgive me, Ava. I don't quite know what you do, so I'm not going to use you as an example. I wouldn't have someone like Catherine who sits in the same boat as James. She herself has to reflect and think about what can I do. And I think Catherine is such an amazing person because I think there is a lot of reflection that goes on with her. And I always look forward to listening and talking to her because she will throw things back at me that make me reflect and think about things that might come out of my mouth. Um, and I love it. And I truly appreciate it so that I can be a better person. I can be a better minister. I can be a better teacher. She shares these thoughts. And I wouldn't doubt that she herself goes through these, what can I do to be a better daughter? What can I do to be a better accountant? What can I do to help my country, my company? What can I do to better society? At the same time, what can I do to better myself, to help myself be healthy, strong, independent? I find her to be such a fascinating person. And I truly appreciate when I get a chance, chance to talk to her. If you get a chance to talk to her, you really should. But I think reflection is so important, especially with our relationship with Kami-sama, especially in our relationship with our faith. Faith isn't just praying to God once a day, or once a week. It's every day, every day. It really is. What Sensei also like to use the term jitsui teini. Jitsui teini. It's interesting though, if you look inside the Kyoten, Kyosa-sama did not use that term very often. Maybe he was very selective. I'm not sure. But jitsui teini refers to honesty. It refers to sincerity. You being who you are. What are you doing to make sure that your utmost is out there? A couple of months ago, I was asked by Miss Cheryl Tsuki to please do the oharai for the Rafu no Tsumikai, for the Mikoshi. And we went back, we communicated and everything, and I was like, oh gosh, I don't even know I can do this because, Tsuki Sensei, God, how do you fill those shoes? I don't know how to fill those shoes. But Tsuki Sensei, he had big shoes to fill. And as many of you know, Reverend Tsuki passed away last month. And, I didn't have a very close relationship. I don't know him very well. I just didn't know him very well. I had very few interactions with him, unfortunately. But during that ceremony, before that ceremony, we kept going over everything with I kept going over everything with Cheryl. I was so grateful to have Nico and her son Edward there. They were such huge relief. It was like I felt I had even more support, and I felt very grateful for them. And Miko happened to be there. And Miko had told me, Tsuki Sensei, Hollywood eyes. He did Hollywood konkokyo. He had to appeal to the masses. And when I first heard that, like, ooh, yikes. I cringed a little bit. I literally cringed just a little bit. But then that day, as I was driving back to San Diego, I thought about what she said. Sensei did Hollywood. And I thought about Hollywood. I thought about what does it mean? Because my cousin worked in Hollywood. She dealt with actors. She dealt with studio productions. And I would think about what it meant to do Hollywood. What does it mean to sit in the director's seat or the producer's seat? And I was enlightened. I had this huge epiphany. Wow. Hollywood konkokyo is the epitome of jitsui teini. It's the epitome of it. What do I mean? Let's look at this. Cheryl told me that everything that Alfred Sensei learned, he learned from his father. I'm so sorry, I do not know what his father's first name is. Please forgive me. But he learned from his father. And I've seen pictures of Alfred Sensei's father, and he's dressed very, ostentatiously. He looks very grand. Like he he looks very regal, you know. And I thought to myself, well, in order to appeal, and not just appeal, I began thinking about this. In order to make the Ujiko that asked them to please do a service happy, Sensei had to really think about the verbiage that goes into a norito. In order to make these people happy, he had to think about this various rites. What could these rites, what are the meanings behind this rite? What can we do so that they will be even happier? But at the same time, it's not just about the Ujiko, the people who asked Sensei for the service. How then do we please Kami-sama? How do we make Kami-sama happy? Then how is it that I connect these two? How can I have these two be connected? I thought, Suki Sensei's father and Alfred Sensei himself have done hundreds, maybe thousands of ceremonies throughout this country. How then do you bring the two together? How do you make the two happy? The amount of thinking and conscientiousness, the amount of real reflection and meticulousness that has to go into each of these services. I realized Hollywood Kokokyo really is the epitome of Jitsui Teine. You're asking us to really reflect on how we can please both Kami-sama and those asking for service. You also have to bring the two together, and that comes in the form of the norito. There must have been so much reflection with both Reverend Tsuki's father and Alfred Sensei. There must have been so much reflection and contemplation and reformation in their hearts, because it's not just about doing the service. You have to also embody, you have to have the toku, the virtue to do these kinds of services. Virtue I do not have, and that is why I'm so grateful that Miko and Edward were there. Woo! I truly do. This month, I think it's so apropos that the end of the year service for Whittier is now, because we have the time and the opportunity to reflect on the blessings we've received in our everyday life. Reflect on the favor we have received in our everyday life. Reflect and not count. Reflect on it. I don't know if there's a noise. We have the opportunity to really reflect on our relationship with Kami-sama and our ancestors. We have that time. We have the ability to do that. What can we do? What is the next step to bringing the two of us closer? And not on a Sunday basis or once a month basis, but on a daily basis. How do we do that? This month, as we enter into the end of year, I ask you to please reflect on these things. Aratamari ga daichi. Jitsui teine, much like Tsuki Sensei, Jitsui teine. What can we do to bring ourselves close? What is the next step? What can we do? There's so many options. So many options. But for each of us, we have to find what works for us. What works for us. Even if it's a small thing. Small thing. It's so important. We need to reflect on the blessings and favors. I'm so grateful for Avalon and James staying here at the Hiromaya, here at this church, taking care of this church. I'm so grateful to Avalon because every night she prays before these altars. Every night she prays before these altars. And she seeks mediation every night, as Wakiko Sensei would have. Every morning she offers the Hatsimizu, the first water offerings to the altars, both here on the first floor and the Igawa family altar on the second floor. I'm so grateful to Miko because she is a huge support for me. She's constantly encouraging me. She always reminds me to take care of my health. She secretly sneaks me Scooby snacks. I'm so grateful that she is a part of my life, that she's a part of this church, and she's always someone, who helps me to continuously reflect on my blessings. And I'm grateful for Reverend Wakiko and Kyoshigawa, without Wakiko Sensei founding this church, there would be no Whittier Church. Many people don't know that there are other people who seek mediation here, who listen to the sermons here, who have received mediation from Wakiko Sensei and were saved. Many people don't know that. And I'm so grateful that they trusted me to come once a month to do a service here. And I'm so grateful that Kami-sama has allowed me to do this goyo for 2.5 years. This month will make 2.5 years. I am so grateful for all of these things. And I'm grateful to all of you who continuously join us, who listen and join us in prayer. And I hope that next year we will continue to grow. Our outreach here will continue to blossom. More people can receive Kami-sama's and learn to acknowledge and recognize the love of Kami-sama in their lives. I hope you will take this month to reflect on the okage you have received, the blessings, the protections and interventions that you receive on a daily basis, your relationship with Kami-sama. But that's all Kami-sama is asking for, is a relationship with you. I hope you'll take this month as an opportunity to grow. I know I have every intention to do that as well. And even by just a little bit, even a little bit is a lot. Anyway, I'd like to end here and thank all of you again for supporting the Whittier Rose Hills Church. And on behalf of Reverend Wakiko and Kyoshigawa, thank you very much for your constant prayers and your constant support of this Hiromae. Just one quick announcement. Next year, the Gantansai, I'm from San Diego, so I will be doing the San Diego Gantansai on a New Year's service on the 1st in the morning, and then at night at 8:00 p.m. We also have another Hiromae in Chula Vista. So at the Chula Vista Kosha, is what we call it, there's our Gantansai there. I will be perform the New Year's service for the Whittier Church will be on January 3rd at 1:00 p.m. So I hope you will all be able to join us for that service. But until then, please, please, please take care. Please stay safe. I look forward to seeing all of you, whether it be online or in person, for our New Year's service. So please take care. Ahuiho maalama kono. Hi, the two of you who are online. Ooh, my mouth is dry. I don't know what this is. Oh, I better stop.